his city library. She sighs from behind his desk, excavating long-practiced sensuality. Her low bow retrieves paper fallen into his periphery. The mind plays soft porn, beating back rapt attention to the book at hand, the frozen pizza grocery list, and a public library's sexless sterility. This must be the way of things for humans. Banality swiftly reasserts itself. The geriatric once was shuffle-foots into full view, helped in passing through the door by an attentive Good Samaritan. Okay, I'm going to read two things that are sort of related. I've been reading a lot of beat poetry lately, and I've been tasked with writing imitations of several of these beat poets. The first one was trying to beat Jack Kerouac, who was not a very good poet, but it's a miserable failure as a beat poem imitation. And the next one I think is a little bit closer. This is the first one that's a failed Jack Kerouac imitation, which has a bad title that I'll skip saying out loud. Lao Tzu, he kept books for the emperor until he figured out that the world was falling down because it was heavy with modernity. The busy city living before the big engines, free-falling New York. Old master, do not leave us to all of these heavy things without your wisdom. This was the plea of the guard at the outer wall. With such a timely plea, you know he felt it too. You know he knew why the sagacious bookkeeper would jump ship. They say Lao Tzu was sympathetic. He wrote out his wisdom on a long scroll with many hours of lamplight and jasmine tea, handed it to the guard as he fled the city. All of the hope the guard hoped for, all of the wisdom on a scroll of hemp waste paper. Only poems. We should get a beautiful bowl. Whew. And this one is a little bit closer because it was just associative writing. I was looking at a bulletin board, so this is called Corkboard Associations. Publishing English abroad is a field study in proliferating the New York Academy. Logan comes back and tells us about his student who tried to mix up verbs with whistles and Swahili clicking. Click, click, vacuuming, Xeroxing, brooming the linoleum with a China-made handle holding hay from Berlin. This is a this is a fucking awful story. Alright, so I was trying to imitate Allan Ginsberg, which is all you know is probably not the best thing to actually try to do if you're a human being. I just kind of sat for an entire afternoon spewing association after association, and then at the end I had this pile of shit that I was miserably dissatisfied with, and I sent it to a very good friend who cut and pasted it. And this is the first time I've really looked at it since she cut and pasted it, so I'm going to read what she cut and pasted. I pace through the morning on salted grounds. Talcum-powdered February presses from the window into suburban distance, choking honeysuckle bushes, and we are headached and slow under the firm thumb of the season. A wordless friend sits by the window at sunrise, and this is my constant against chatter in the supermarket, the oversexed hipsters who know how to order coffee. A Pyrenean shepherd has been killed by a truck, he says, breaking the silence. There is asphalt past the yard digesting the splayed stomach peppered with snow crew salt and traction sand. This dog should be strutting across a green TV carpet, but here it is giving its guts to my parking space. In the natural order, the ground gets fat and spits up new greens, and this repeats ad nauseum while the asphalt takes and spits up flies. I wonder whether flies have something useful to give. The only work they do is minute shit shoveling unless they are at work on some carcass in dirt. If there is sex in the guts of a show dog sprawled on pavement, it is because America must come from young boys aroused by rotting food. A Pyrenean shepherd is a blight on the earth. An Andorran mountain farmer somewhere discovered that playing God gave him a stiffy, and that the dog this shape with perfect hair was what God must have meant when he'd made the wolf. I wonder whether America came from some pig-headed February, horny adolescent forefathers, long-dead dirt farmers and God, everyone trying to outdo the other in a mad race for a beautiful dog that ends up splattered into asphalt, into my usual parking space by some two-door or some minivan. The shepherd, though, is beautiful, and God either meant for horny mountain farmers to contribute to his design or else he was inept. I wonder whether Andorra bred the lusty Pyrenean shepherd in February to take the edge off. Should I do one that I just wrote in the spirit of the just writing things? Or should I do something good? If I do the one that I just wrote, I have to do two more because it's not very good. It's very short. It's three tercets. Tercets. You sick old man. You, giant, my vessel and my hermitage, bedchamber of my heart as bodies cast to sea, could I but touch, perch, where you perch, summer northerly, a sparrow. I think you are a sparrow, dear, and I am not gallant, heavy, and all thumbs. Oh, this is another poem after a poet, not a beat, but the very, very well-known Barbara Guest. Yeah, oh, somebody knows Barbara Guest. All right. Well, I wrote this trying to be Barbara Guest, which, as you might imagine, gave me some difficulty because I'm not Barbara Guest. This is called New York Winter because I couldn't think of a good title in it. It's about winter. But she was a New York School poet, so. Yeah. I set my feet unblinchingly to file. The early skis and boots have carved a walk I approximate with eager trampling. The unabated field gobbles the distance, the trees on the horizon, the road, the baseball diamond. She's been very hungry. I set my feet among the ruins. I'm listening to you and trading blows in step with the aggregation of our long-dead fathers, apparitional, themselves without method to correct our posture, breathing, or logic. We pretend the wisdom of phantoms speaking a foreign tongue. She'd been very hungry, and I'm trading blows in a foreign land brimming with whispers, teeming with shadows of the present, all of the inedible. Someone stops on cross-country skis. You will stand beneath her with a camera, pushing a small red button. I set my feet, I sink into the cold and swallow her with all the phantoms I can hold.